Okay, welcome everyone to the Sight Week Global Sight Week celebration. I'm very thrilled to to connect with all the audience today, and this is a very exciting and thrilling session today. To give you a little bit of context here, this panel is very relevant and very important, both from HAC and Sight standpoint. So in 2019, we, as you all know, we started we introduced this Global Sight Week, a program. The goal of this program is to, celebrate the impactful work done by sight volunteers across the world. Both in 2019 and 2020, Sight as a program, we decided to strengthen our partnership with key players within IEEE as well as external to IEEE. In this particular session, what I'm really thrilled and happy to listen is that you will be hearing from the amazing global leaders from the societies and other key programs in the sustainable development space within IEEE, how their experience, how it is important for them to partner with Sight and see what we have done so far, and also to talk about what is the path forward in 2021. Now, with that said, we interfaced with more than 12 programs last year, and we rolled out about 5 pilots with different societies and different and other key programs, as I said. So specifically in this session today, you will hear from the 3 global leaders for Dr. Fernando, Dr. Ajay Padur, and my good friend Samarth. You will hear from them about more about this collaboration, and you will hear their experience working with Sight and how this works out to be a win-win partnership both for the program and for Sight. So specifically, Dr. Fernando, a quick introduction here is Dr. Fernando has been a very active IEEE leader, and he was the president past president for the Electron Devices Society. So last year we had a great partnership with EDS, and in fact, most recently EDS also approved $25,000 to continue partnership with Sight. So you will hear from Dr. Fernando, the amazing work he and his EDS teams are doing. And also to call out, he is also the education committee chair for Sight this year. He has done fabulous work this year, organizing webinars and to focus on professional skill development for Sight members. And Dr. Ajay is our partnership committee chair, and Sight reached a pinnacle in terms of partnership in the last 2 years. And the credit goes to Dr. Ajay, and he was instrumental in spearheading several key collaborations and partnership between societies like APS, IAS, MTT-S. So he's a world-renowned scientist as well as a key leader in technology. So very happy to have him here today. And Samarth is amazing. I would say like rising star across the board. He has fabulously transformed epics in IEEE. I had a great fond of working along with them as part of epics. To me, like Sight and epics in a way are very closely interconnected. The mission is to train our volunteers and help them to contribute towards the larger vision of IEEE. So you will hear from Samarth today how about our partnership and what are the possibilities. We also have other partners. Unfortunately, because of the time, we are not able to get everybody on board today. But I would like to recognize and thank each one of the partners, their teams, and the staff members in those programs. And of course, our amazing staff members, Juliana is here today, Holly and Betsy, for this fabulous support. So with that said, a quick note here is, Sight, in fact, is marching towards a pinnacle of performance in the last 10 years, I would say, in membership development, in terms of number of site groups formed, and also in terms of the projects supported, especially for the COVID this year, we received close to 230 projects from 35 countries, and we funded more than 101 projects this year. And we added about 54 site groups, totaling up to 172 site groups in the last 2 years. And then the site group, as I said, the membership is about 10,000 members, historic achievement both in 2019 and 2020. So with that said, I'm really grateful. I mean, this journey has been fabulous. And this is purely because of the dedication and commitment and the engagement of our volunteers and our site members throughout the world. So with that said, I extend a warm welcome to our, dignitaries today, and we'll start with Dr. Fernando, and we'll hear from him more about the SIGHT EDS collaboration.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Sampath, for inviting me to this presentation today, this panel. And I just want to share the collaboration and the great experience we've had from the Electron Devices Society in partnership with SIGHT. So if we could go to the next slide. As you will be able to see, the motto of our society is to promote excellence in the field of electron devices for the benefit of humanity. So, we align very well with the SIGHT and the overall mantra for across IEEE. So that is what we're all about. And while we continue to put the miniaturization of transistors, the new geometries that we're using, the most advanced devices in the world, we have to put everything into perspective, the ultimate reason that we do all these things. And I think we're all keenly aware how much electron devices have changed society. Without the transistor, we would not be able to see a lot of the benefits that we're reaping from technology. So if we go on to the next slide, I will be giving you, some of this, this is the items that we're going to be trying to cover in today's talk. So we can just go on to the next one. And this slide will look familiar to Sampath. I think it came from one of his presentations. Really, we have collaboration with other societies, with antennas and propagations, industrial applications, electron devices, and microwave theory and technique society. So it is great that we're engaging more and more societies, and we'll continue to strive to include more societies. As you will see, we have opportunities at the society level to fund projects. And I'll share directly the electron devices experience on this regard. So obviously, there's other groups within IEEE, EPICS, as well as ERCAP and NU, and the IEEE SIGHT Fund with the IEEE Foundation. As we will see within EDS, we also have a mission fund where we have money that we can use for this type of activities. So if we go on to the next slide. So in the case of EDS, so we can give up to 50% of the surplus of any year. So in 2019, we had a total of almost $333,000 to fund projects. Some of this are, for the benefit of the society, but a lot of this are geared towards humanitarian activities. And of course, it was a challenging year because of COVID. So we had to change a lot of these projects and meetings that we fund had to be repurposed to be virtual. And I think we've all learned to manage with the new realities. All the funds actually have been dispersed as of this year because they have to be spent. And we are, of course, we require the reports to be sent. And today, I will be able to share maybe a couple of projects, one of which is the first EDS site project where we funded a project in Nicaragua. And tomorrow, Mario Alemán is going to be giving a full report, which I hope you can attend to it, because it really epitomizes it's a perfect showcase project as to the good that we're doing to society and to the communities in which these projects are rolled out, and bringing the know-how and expertise from our members. So if we go to the next slide, besides the 30%, we can also spend 3% of our reserves. In EDS, we have roughly $10 million in reserves. So it also is a significant amount of money that we can use. So of course we support scholarships for some of our conferences. As you will see, I'll talk a little bit about this electronics or circular economy and environmental sustainability, which is a project we're engaging at the root level, grade school and high school students to do projects. And yesterday we had a webinar on the photovoltaics for agriculture, and it was a perfect example that also showcases what we're trying to do. We are funding we have many fabricators within the universities that are parts of Electron Devices Society. So we're leveraging these fabricating facilities to design and build sensors that are a lot cheaper for us to manufacture at this level with our partners rather than having to purchase them in the commercial market. So we have a long-term roadmap to integrate all the solutions. Of course, we will continue to invest in upcoming areas such as quantum technologies. And we had a project by which we were giving internships for students across the world to leverage with the leading companies to explore projects in 5G, in Internet of Things, etc. So we gave micro grants, and we would take students. We also had to repurpose it from being on-site to being a virtual opportunity. And of course, the solar-powered school systems, and then we're also doing summer schools, both in India and also one in Mexico, where, so all this money has been used this year, and we will be giving the report. So hopefully next year, I'll be able to share with you the outcomes of all these great projects. If we move on to the next one, through one of the projects is also, not only at the high school, grade school level. For instance, this year in Region 9, where students learn to design chips, but don't have the money to fund their tape outs. So this year, we actually provided and funded a tape out for 9 designs to be put out. So we start from a very low level all the way to the level where students are fabricating their own chips. And we, of course, prefer those that deal with activities for like irrigation, etc. And there are some projects along those lines. So we can move on to the next one. I just wanted to showcase a couple projects. Since we are limited on time, I will just touch basically on a couple. So this is the one that Mario Aleman will present tomorrow. So EDS and SIGHT provided 10,000 each to fund this project, and it's great to see that it's coming to fruition and it's advancing real well. So if we go on to the next slide, it just basically gives an overview of this drip, a sustainable drip irrigation system in rural Nicaragua. But it also, if we go on to the next slide, it was not only the irrigation part of it, but how to store the water. So it's going to be able to irrigate an area of 14,000 square meters. And there's also a community shelter that was built. So we'll provide a solar energy system for 5 kilowatt, as well as the microcontrollers to automate the irrigation and a submersible water pump. So we go on to the next slide. And of course, I invite you tomorrow to attend the talk where Mario is going to give you the perfect. So it's really not only the practice of agriculture, but also to make it sustainable and to make it a community effort. So it's going to create jobs to benefit initially at least just 15 local workers, fruit harvesting of 7 acres of many crops. And most of all is to bring to a community the technical skills in the design and automation of the systems, so that we can continue to do this. So this is and excellent. And we're having, thanks to Mario, a lot of growth in EDS in the Central American region. So briefly, I'll touch in the next project. If you go to the next slide. So we are talking just one more is this citizen science, and I guess there's several other projects that we're doing in with other universities. We're enabling the controllers for embedded water quality sensors to do some of those. The photovoltaic citizen side. And if we go to one more slide, I think that's just a highlight of a few. So we're doing on the right, you can see some flexible electronics. So we're putting some of these controllers in a flexible substrates so that they can be deployed on the field a lot easier. So there really are a lot of opportunities across the different societies. For instance, with microwave, I can see with the 5G is going to be a game changer. So I can really see a lot of great opportunities across the different societies working with SIGHT. So I will not take any more of your time, but I'll be available for any questions. And just really thanks a lot to Sampath and the leadership of SIGHT for really working together and being able to roll out a lot of these great initiatives. And as you can see, it's not just PowerPoint. We're seeing actual results in the fields, and the communities across the world. So thank you all for your support, and hopefully look forward to your continued engagement with EDS and SIGHT.
Awesome, Dr. Fernando. Really, really excited. As I said, very happy to see some of the ongoing pilot works progress, as well as some of the collaborative efforts what we have fostered. Again, my sincere appreciation to you and the EDS volunteers on the ground who made this, this kind of impact possible. And as I said, I always said, this is the beginning. There's a lot more to do in 2021 and beyond. So look forward to strengthen the partnership with SIGHT. Yep. And HAC next year. So
it was a wonderful talk. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are back, Dr.
Okay,
Ajay.
very good. Okay, very good. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry for the glitch, maybe the internet bandwidth in my company. I was trying a lot, but some accessible. I'm very sorry for that.
That's fine. That's fine. So, so I think what we can do is maybe we can reserve the last 10 minutes maybe for the Q&A, and maybe we'll quickly get the presentations done. I know Samath is also in a different time zone. So so what we will do is like, Dr. Ajay, are you ready for your talk now, or?
I'm ready because I have to, maybe Juliana can switch over, move the slides.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, otherwise if you give me, yeah, that's better, because if you share me, I do not want to go to internet glitch again. So please
sure.
Display my slide. Okay.
All right.
Okay. And first of all, I would like to thank you, Dr. Sampath Kumar, for giving me opportunity because we had a long-term relationship with many times we made actually board of directors meeting and the Karthik Kulkar and many people. And the choice of doing volunteering service was from a child. He made us give us the opportunity. I want to thank you. Can you move to the next slide? I think go to next slide. Okay. Here's the outline. I was provided the outline to discuss around the 4 points. The IEEE program I am representing and what is my role with that program, and my experience with the SIGHT and nature of collaboration, and my involvement as a volunteer with the industry, academic institution, local body, and then partnership of SIGHT with sister society, industry, academic institution, and that things. And I'll just discuss about how much it advantages, why one should go for. Involvement with EPICS member, it was a very good thing because I was working with since 6 months with EPICS and IEEE Foundation, and my boss was very generous to support those programs. So I want to show some of the slides. Next slide. Here's a volunteering opportunity. IT program presenting roles, and I was lucky to get elected from EDCA member from MTT Society and AP Society. How the MTT works, like 95% voting member was selected from the community. It will be bad to say the old boys clubs, they all be selected. I was never been selected. So when we went to the member at large voting, so probably I got the vote. So now I knew where I'm placed. I'm not in place in committee, but if it comes to voting, I won both the election from MTT and AP in the same years. So it was good and bad both. Good, I got elected, but bad, lot of responsibility. The opportunity I got it because I was serving as a MTT-S like MJ committee, and it was help from Karthik, so I could establish the MTT-S SIGHT APS SIGHT. I think few of the first society which was founded by IEEE SIGHT at society levels, and we create the budget, regular budget. Around $100,000 budget, we have both society projects. So that's get the special project status. Around $250,000 from chapter activity that also we funnel the humanitarian project that we'll discuss about. And then other than the two society outcome role, and I'm also not the section vice chair from 12 years, and this year from 2021 to 22, 2 years, I'm selected for section chair. So we'll have duty pack committee, and I discussed my action member. Next few days, I'll be establishing the IEEE SIGHT from New Jersey also. So it's already in process. Then subcommittee member, this is my close to the heart. So wherever opportunity I find, I try my best to contribute to different level. Next slide. My experience with the site, I just made it point so that I do not want to read all the limitation of time. That my story of, because I was from my childhood, I was working for Mother Teresa Foundation, because humanitarian was close to my heart. That's why I took my career so that wherever I get opportunity, I can impact the underserved community. My story of SIGHT begins in January year 2014 when Dr. Pista, 2013 president, telephoned me in October 12, 2014, discussed briefly about can I conduct the SIGHT group volunteers where many volunteers from India, Sri Lanka, other places, they can join with our MTT-AP chapter chair meeting. I was happily accepted the offer and found the opportunity. The reason was if SIGHT groups get connected to local section level, it will be the everlasting solution. Otherwise, to many different groups, they are doing the same thing. So that was wonderful. And that led to the establishment of formation of MTT-S SIGHT and SIGHT society level. While IEEE taglines advancing technology for humanity should establish its resolution, unfortunately, there is a substantial portion of population that does not have access to some of the basic stuff like clean water, electricity, internet, mobile phone, and others. This is a village I belong, where still in my village there's no electricity. So some of the solar work is going on. That many of us here take for granted. In my opinion, admission to these basic things to improve the quality of life being considered a human right, IEEE SIGHT platform inspired me to understand the global humanitarian challenge and ability to apply engineering capability to explore for low-cost solutions for improving the quality of life in the underserved region of the world. And I was discussing, Professor Nanal was giving talk, I was invited him giving real talk in NGIT, so we wanted to do something together also. After that, we did not meet. Maybe you can have physical meeting, we do some joint collaboration work. So I want to thank Fernando for accepting talk to NGIT. And it's important to note the volunteering of the SIGHT commitment, my task for serving humanity, and the gratification resulting from this volunteering service is inestimable, which otherwise not possible from the regular job at my work. It is a great bonus, great raise, it gives us opportunity, because many times we do not get even opportunity to help others. Next slide. Please, next slide. This shows you the kickoff of the MTT SIGHT. Simultaneously, we did it when Team Lee was president of Attenuator Society and APS president was Tapan Sarkar. So I was the one who filled the form of both the society formation in 2014. I think MTT SIGHT APS established in 2015. One was early part of 2015 and one was the middle of somewhere. Next slide. This shows you we have a SIGHT website at MTT website, and they show you the picture of the formation of many events we did for STEM education program. In MTT SIGHT also we have a focus area of MTT SIGHT. Inspire and motivate. I will not read all the lines. Application focus, education forum, conference focus, MGA focus, and we decided. We have many design contests where it's a very low noise amplified, very good gain bandwidth, all other things we do it. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't solve the purpose for the community where they need some of the help, that is useless. So that's what we made a MGA focus to help those communities. And also we recently developed the COPE, it's Committee on Promoting Equality. So that we'll discuss this later. Next slide. Next slide. Similar thing with the APS site also, we have a website. You can see the APS and MTT-S site to have a more or less same kind of focus area, but one APS deal with the, more or less, basically antenna and wireless and communication kind of things. And MTT site goes on circuit and integrated all the, but two society, 70% they share the common, know-how and technological value. So it is good to have collaboration from both the society that gives long impacting. And we are in a discussion with the Photonic Society, Aerospace Society, and Ultra Frequency Society, also three society. They are also interested to, form the site at society level. So this society level integration will be very much helpful. Next slide. Collaboration with IEEE Society and others. I found real joy in getting connected to site groups worldwide, helping with the formation of several site groups co-sponsored by MTT and AP Society, linked to local IEEE section and 200+ chapters worldwide. As a proactive volunteer, I worked with the IEEE site towards the formation of IEEE AP site committee at society level in 2015. I have served as a first chair of the AP site from 2015 to 2017, and also serving as a committee member from 2018 to 2020. I have been serving as a chair of APS Chapter Activity Committee from 2014. This gave me opportunity to support funding to 180+ APS chapter and offer special project funding for home internet project using antenna and wireless technology. As a proactive volunteer, I work with the IEEE site towards the formation of IEEE MTT-S committee at society level 2015. I have served also first vice chair MTT site from 2015 to 17, and also serving as a committee member from 18 to 2020. This both society MTT happened simultaneously at elections, so that's why I could do the similar job in both societies. And MTT Society has 230 chapters, and APS Society 190 chapters. Look at the volume. So I got the opportunity of funding approval right from both the societies. So I formulated many special projects which has a humanitarian values, which we can see in subsequent slides. And the last point, I was resonating with this idea and the proactive approach towards helping underprivileged community and creating hope for the underserved individuals of the world. I have experienced and realized the empowerment of volunteerism. We are not perfect, which I learned, and have flaws, but each have our positive attributes and together can make a difference that contribute to us advancing technical humanity. I always discuss in a sample regarding our strength and weakness. We have maybe numbers of flaws, but if all together we can work and we can make a definitely difference. That's I have belief on this type of philosophy. Next slide. Please, next slide. Okay. This gives you a glimpse of, because I had several slides which can have a doublet, either MTT, AP, communication, electronic device circuit system. Let me point out, at section level, I represent electronic device circuit system. That's why I invited for the talk energy. Communication Society, AP Society. At section level, I'm involved in 5 societies: Photonic Society, AS Society, Electronic Device and Circuit Society, MTT, and AP Society. I just give you even typical MTT society. You see the more than 15 to 20 society are together. So we cannot be alone, isolated as a site also. So the idea what Sampath wanted to put in partnership, which is a great value, and it has a great theme and it's tangible, so that we should go forward to integrate in many society, many local body, academic, industry, if you want to have a long-time impact. Next slide. Please, next slide. Typical I give you, because I have several photographs, probably 200+ photographs, but I wanted to have some important one. This shows you site partnership, university and industry. We visited the first one is shows you Calcutta, Kodak, then it's in Bangalore. If you see the middle photograph, we have I think one of the photograph, Peter Stecker was there, then Tapan, MTT president, Photonics president. You see the many students and other people are very much excited about the project. We always, whenever we have a conference, what we do, we have a special workshop, design contest, amateur radio program, build your own radio. So we invite students from like 10th grade to 12th grade, junior colleges, and make them a connection from the, from 2 places. We have a special license we got from Government of India for these conferences. The students were over 2,000 students, over the year we have trained them. They are very, very happy. They are collaborating at the local village levels. Next slide. Next slide. This is also shows you some of the photographs which was taken building the antenna and You see the Region 8 Director, Dr. Magdalena Saljar, of Region 8, she's talking with the HEM radio program, which was locally established. And from the government agency also, there are many, if you see the last slide one photograph, we have like Tapan Sarkar, Magdalena, then Eric Mokale, and many people from government of India and establishment, they were very collaborative. There were thousands of students because we couldn't take photograph all the put it. The topic was to address the cleaning water at local body, medical things, solars, radio program because amateur radio they can communicate even we do not have local. In those villages they do not have a telephone connection line, so the ham radio was very much effective. Next slide. And this I want to read it. SIGHT events corresponds by MTT-S Society aim to provide the required impetus to humanitarian activity globally, attracted young professionals, students, and volunteers. The special call sign BU3 MTT was assigned by the Government of India for amateur radio training purpose at APMC in Myanmar, which is a yearly conference every year in those regions. Region 10, we are doing it. In last 5 years, several training sessions on amateur radio were conducted, which attracted 2,000 plus undergrad student attendees. Notably, SIGHT is about interaction, engagement, networking, and commitment for creating a volunteer service community for the special trade that teaches us to subsidize and aid underserved people. I am proud of my effort towards the formation of SIGHT committee at society level, both MTT and AP, that offers funding to chapters for SIGHT project through IEEE local section. I have been serving as a chair for the APS chapter committee since 2014 and have reviewed more than 300 chapter reports and 50 plus special projects in the last 5 years. As a chair of the committee, I supported funding to all special projects that were related to humanitarian technology. This experience is incredible to me. Nurtured a culture in MTT and AP society that now emphasis on projects and action plans that have a perceptible impact in student members, YP, we and local IEEE volunteers committee. This is most important. After struggling so much 3 to 4 years, now the both the society realize the many projects, at least 30% project, what students and professionals takes in even design contest, that will be direct impact to the humanity, which otherwise not before. They were always talking about radar, satellite communication, very low noise amplifier, a large bandwidth, but there was no direct application. How can we link with the humanitarian purpose? So this was a major change happened in both the society. And it is worth mentioning that I have initiated a request for the donation. It is worth mentioning that I have initiated a request for the donation from my boss, Dr. Ulrich Rote. He is owner of multi-billion-dollar test and measurement equipment company, which is called Roden Swart in Germany. And he has 3-4 more companies. The company I'm sitting right now is Synergy Microwave, and donated, I think, several $1 million to many programs. But I was able to convince him to give the good amount of money for IEEE Foundation that carries like $20,000 yearly project from APS site alone. And we have from $80,000 this year yearly. We have made it for community committee for promoting equality, and we have another 20,000 for a special project, which is 1,000 per chapter can get. So 20 award of each 1,000, 2 award 10,000 each, and then 80,000 for scope. So it's a good amount of money available. So more or less, I'm not looking for IEEE funding. I can convince my boss to fund more than what IEEE can support. But if there is a good program, if there is a benefit goes to the underserved community in terms of racial discrimination and or gender discrimination, that is good to we join together and help to those community. That gives a lot of values to an inner satisfaction. Next slide. This is called engagement with industry in attenuation. Many IEEE Life Fellow retired from work, retain wealth of technical knowledge, and enjoy free time. We should take this opportunity to IEEE Life Fellow in SIGHT activities through IEEE local section level. They can engage industry leaders, CEO, and upper management for SIGHT activity, which can provide sustainability and long-term impact. And second, IEEE SIGHT should collaborate with initiate partnership with the UN, which Sampath is doing anyway, to sustain and safeguard SIGHT objective goal. UN has budget to over billions, multi-billion dollars, so we can take advantage on this. Recently, if you see the right side, it came in focus from IEEE at last month only came. 2020, will this road the humanitarian technical project was given to Thailand and Thailand groups. It was 10,000 each. And this is for the a local community level in growth, the cleaning water and other solutions they wanted to give it. So the money is available. So it only have to think how to funnel them into other good places. Next slide. This is this one I discussed in last I think a few years back with the Sampath and Karthik also because I was traveling in region 8 where I find blind community, they have become isolated and depressed and stressed. So my boss, Dr. Ode, we thought, why can't we engage them in a way so that they'll be helpful and contributor also. So we established radio station for blind, and it has, if you see the right corner in the bottom, it has come to news in Munich. So we established the radio program, ham radio station training, and they are not, they are connected to each other. And the lady, if you see the left top corner, she owned many dance. She's blind. She many dance. She knows swimming also. She's a good computer operator. So they are becoming the first responder. So many places like flights and any kind of security agency where you only listening and speaking is required. They are very good with the ham radio programs. They can provide all the information in real time. So somehow we are able to connect them, and that was real joy because we can help the society to creating amateur radio for blind. Next slide. This also again few slides show you how we are integrated industry. The left side bottom you see the Professor Bharti, but she's very renowned in India and even she's from Harvard. Now she's retired. So she was chairman of many industries. She was dean and director of the IIT Delhi, and we're discussing about how the technical solution from civil society and industry can address the local problems. How can we empower the local community? So uniformity can be done, equality can be achieved. So these are the interactions going on in the industry. Next slide. This project was, I think, supported of approved by SIGHT and HSC, and it was MTT-S SIGHT program from Bombay. So I gave the opportunity to demonstrate the program in MTT-S workshop. So this shows you slide all these people. I'm also sitting with the Professor Anand Basu and all the SIGHT group volunteers are there who made very successful project. Next slide. And this is region 7. This year, February 2020, we wanted to do for a Attenuator program in a partnership with Ottawa Amateur Radio Club. This will be hand-on program. Will be the focus on for amateur radio operators. Next slide. Next slide. Same thing. It is we did in March 2020, just before hitting COVID-19. It was a workshop for antenna workshop. We wanted to develop different antenna were built in Yagi loop dipoles. The material used the plastic pipes. They measure the low-cost material. These antenna will be used for focus on competition, which will be organized by the students. So they'll be using for ham radio programs. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah. This is region 8 event because in Romania, Dr. Rode and myself and few more volunteers from the industry, we went to the Romania. We wanted to develop the 2-day workshop program for humanitarian projects. It was based on software-defined radio, and software-defined radio, so signal processing, so that can detect water quality, pollution, and other issues like related other virus, because that time COVID-19 was not there. So many issues like chemical hazards, and then we have a air pollution, other things. How can you use our signal processing techniques and software-defined radio that can help with those technology can give the impactful to local community. So a 2 days workshop programs, and where I think my company also supported the funding for developing those projects also. Next slide. This one, just around times of April when COVID-19 pandemic was a peak in those area where the ventilator was not available because everybody wanted a ventilator. So people were dying. They cannot go even hospital. There was no ambulance available. So we talk with some of the people for MTT-S chapters in region 8. Why can't we develop by hand-on? Because hand-on, if you pump the it will be very difficult to synchronize. So in like 15 to 30 days, they come up some of the things. At least they could save some of the lives because it helps you by the time the ambulance takes you from the patient to the hospital, and at least you lost 2 to 3 hours time. So if you can provide those kind of helps, it's a low cost, but if you can provide, you can save the lives. So that is also on YouTube, and we are helping this these kind of projects at several places so that they can get help in future. Next slide.
Dr. Rajesh Sampathi, sorry to interrupt. Maybe like if you could highlight the key ones, so we can probably we have a limited
maybe
time
1 minute.
for
Okay,
sure,
1 minute.
sure,
1 minute. I'll do. Yeah. Maybe because this last October and this October 2nd, 2020 was a very important day because it was the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi, and UNESCO for the first time they declared International Nonviolence Day. And we invited Honorable Dalai Lama to give talk about peace and harmony, how the technical know-how can help the society in peaceful manner. Right slide, you see the speaker, Dr. Frank Islam. He's a civil leader, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and he holds many government address of government positions over here. He was also given how the technological can help humanity. Next slide. Please, next slide. And this one, the left one is Dr. Sampitrodai. He's a known for technological engineer, inventor, and a father of the telecom in India. He also suggested how technology can help the underserved community. That was talk how can improve the peace and harmony. Right side, I have given talk about the rural education to improve the quality of the life. Next slide. Yeah, we may want to go to last slide, please. Yeah, this is EPICS program. EPIC program, which we have funded, from our company. You can see the Perry given the letter for some kind of thank you note. Next slide. Maybe last slide you can put it so I can conclude the talk. Yeah, go to last slide. I think one more last slide. Yeah. I will just read the last line because time limitation. The past history has revealed that technology improves the standard of living, progress, the quality of life, and stimulates coordination and agreement. But advancing technology also has the possibility to destroy our planet Earth if not used appropriately. In my opinion, IEEE SIGHT is a roadmap that enables voluntary force to work together to arrive at a sustainable approach for advancing technology to make our planet a better place to live in all of us. And like others, IEEE SIGHT leaders, mentors, and volunteers, I am very fortunate to be a volunteer at IEEE SIGHT. Partnership with civil society, EPICS, industry, academic institution, and local community will be strengthened, and society and promote equality in the community. Thank you. If there are any question, I will take it.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ajay. That was a very comprehensive, presentation from you. We truly appreciate your amazing leadership and contribution to the partnership program for SIGHT. So, since we have really limited time, I would actually request the audience that we'll be extending for another 10 to 15 minutes easily because there was a technical glitch. We ran a little late. So, with that, I will quickly move on to Samarth. And thank you, Samarth, for waiting. So, please go ahead. The show is yours.
Thank you, Sampath. Juliana, if you saw my message, is it possible? Yeah, great. So then, I'll be able to speed up a few things in that case. I'll just wait. So Juliana is giving me the rights to share the screen. Now I can. Great.
Yes, you should have that now.
Perfect. And then I should be able to see this. So now you should be able to see things. Great, so welcome and thank you for waiting. My name is Samarth and I am the chair of Apex and IEEE. Very quickly, who am I? I'm at the moment working with the Hitachi ABB Power Grids in Sweden as an R&D project manager. In the past, I've had different positions within the same company, in fact. And then where do I come into IEEE context? I mean, I'm at the moment the chair of Apex and IEEE, of course, but also I am the chair of IEEE Sweden section. I shouldn't be doing two things at the same time, but yes, it happened. I did execute the first Apex and IEEE project in Region 10 back in 2012 or 11, rather. That's when I started the work with IEEE, in fact. What I'm going to talk to you about is Apex and IEEE, the program itself, what it is, and how does it offer you opportunities to do projects, great projects, and then also how our partnership with SIGHT has been great and why do we want to continue this in the future. So very quickly now, Apex and IEEE is a signature program by IEEE Foundation, actually. And what we do basically is we organize high school students and also university students together to do projects that solve a community problem while also collaborating with a non-governmental organization or a non-profit organization, which can be our partner. So basically what we want to do is give students and the university student and also high school students a way to do projects even before being an engineer, real engineer. Now, our vision is to change the world. We want engineering education to be intimately connected to all the community service. So far, we have done 152 projects globally. We are proud of more than 11,000 plus students, both pre-university and university students who have been a part of this program, EPICS and IEEE. And at the heart of all of this is actually service learning, if you see. So we want to do everything that's connected to community, to the students, but we want to serve in this context, service learning. A few quick facts. Well, the best fact that I want to start with is that 100% of the participants who have been a part of EPICS and IEEE program or project, they now see actually engineering as a means of social change, basically. And this is what we want to do. We want to show young students, young minds, what engineering can do and how can they use this knowledge to make the world a bit better. We are also proud of the fact that 38% of all the participants are women, actually. So we try to balance that. It's not 50-50 yet, but we assume there. And also, if you look at the money there, we have around close to $700K US dollars invested in our students by donors. So basically, we are talking about innovation powered by students and volunteers. The funding, we fund projects from $1,000 to $10,000. Sometimes we have also funded more than that. We fund multi-year projects, and we also recommend actually now that you apply for projects that are multi-year, so that we can follow up, so that we can do or see things what happens after you have done the project. In fact, any IEEE member or section can apply. In fact, no deadlines, no proposals are accepted all year around, and we are also looking at your proposals all year around. And the only criteria though we have is that must have students involved, K-12 or high school or university. And in fact, the best ones that we have done and the ones we approve are the ones where we have all of them, K-12 university students, engineering students, as well as high school and the NGO also involved. Now, partnerships. Now, this is important for us. We, of course, want to do project, but we do not have the bandwidth to go out and help the project or go out and execute the project. And this is where our partnerships come into picture. And we rely heavily on NGOs or nonprofits, which are actually local to the community where the problem is being solved, where the problem is being seen. We establish a relation with them. And when we are doing a project, when the students are executing a project, they actually get in touch with the NGOs to show the progress of the project and how exactly is the project going to help the local community wherever they are doing this. So having an NGO as a partner helps us quite a lot, both in terms of testing the product or project, but also understanding the root cause or understanding the value of the project that's being executed. I want to highlight a few projects, and actually I will not go through all of them, but a couple of them and also one side project that I want to highlight. The first one is a STEM for All, where some students at Oregon State University, they developed a curriculum that let the people who are rather disabled to experience and learn about STEM concepts. And this is great. I mean, we want to also show the world what STEM is, how can STEM lead to a brighter future, a better career in the future. And this is how the students at Oregon State University did it. The second project is something that I really like, the Buddy the dog. And here you see a dog standing here, which has gotten prosthesis. Now, in general, you can get a prosthesis anywhere in the world for your dogs or for your animals. But as a matter of fact, the prices of these prosthetics happens to be quite a lot. So in this case, what the people did, and this is where the IEEE HKN IOTA, the IEEE HKN IOTA Delta chapter, they came forward, and the student volunteers from New Jersey section, Stevens Institute of Technology, actually, they came together and they developed a prosthesis which was quite robust. It didn't pain the dog, and also it was not very costly. And now this is seen as a project that can be done in other parts of the world also. And this is what I come to very often with Apex and IEEE, that we are not touching human lives here, we're touching communities here. And this is one great example. Two more examples of flood sensors in the Santa Clara area, where the students have deployed a system of sensors to just look out for warnings, look out for water level increase, and warn the local inhabitants just in case there was a flood warning or a possibility of flood. Then university students in Ecuador, they have actually introduced students from underserved communities way to code and how renewable energy sources work. So basically, they are trying to teach the underserved community how engineering works basically, and how can it help you live a better life. This one is also quite a good project in Puerto Rico. If you remember, there was Hurricane Maria a few years ago in Puerto Rico, and when that happens, quite a lot of things got disrupted on the island. And what we did there, together with the local volunteers, is that we built some charging stations throughout the island of Puerto Rico, and then this was later, as an example, took over by the government, seen by the government and the local. I think I have auto slide on or what? This never happened before. Okay, but anyways, in the end, people started seeing this, the solar battery or solar power, as a part of or as a long-term solution, something like microgrids that could help them fight the future natural disasters. So this is also great, where we are doing small things and we are looking at a long-term impact, which could be worldwide or global. Now, this one project is the one that we did with SIGHT last year. It's a great project because this is very key to us. Water, clean water, and like the other panelists here said, that clean water is still not available to everyone in the world, as you would think. So in this case, what the students did, they actually, and this is in Colombia, by the way, together with Purdue, and this is because Apex comes from Purdue originally, even though we are Apex and IEEE now. Oops. They started to design a sensor, or rather, what do you call a filter? Not a sensor, sorry, a filter that could filter out the water and give as clean water to the local communities. And this was locally to be installed this year, but of course, due to COVID situation now, we are looking at next year to be installed. Though they have already done a few prototypes, they have also tried a few local houses and communities and seeing if it works. And the good news is it does work. So we are looking at 2021 when we can see more news about this particular project, where we at Apex and IEEE and SIGHT together have been able to give clean water to the local communities. And this is where I actually close. I have one more slide, but I will talk here actually, that when and if you want to do a project, or if anyone wants to do a project, I think you shouldn't be thinking of SIGHT, Apex and IEEE, HAC, etc. Apply for funding. I am sure we can match you with a program that can fund you. If you have a great concept, if you have a noble concept, you want to help the community locally, we are here to help you. I think all of us here will agree to that. So if you have a local challenge in the community, come up with a solution. It has to be an engineering solution, but we are sure we can find a match to help you there. This is something that we do now. This is called Apex Expos. We actually gathered the students and the donors and the stakeholders in the same room just to be able to show each other what we do, what kind of projects have we done. And I would invite next time when we are doing this I'll send an invite to all of you actually. If possible, join us. I think it's a great event where you learn about so many different projects. You encourage the students by coming there. So I think I'll keep in mind next time when we're doing this. And your project could be anywhere in the world. So it doesn't have to be in the US or India or China. It could be anywhere in the world. This has to be very local community problem that you solve. With that, I thank you. For more information, feel free to visit our website or write to me. You can write directly to me or at this email address. Thank you.
Yeah.
So questions then.
Yeah, thank you, Samad. That was a very comprehensive presentation talking about Apex and the amazing works done by the Apex team. So again, appreciate you and the Epic staff team for closely partnering with us and working with us. So with that said, really would like to thank all the three, panelists today, Dr. Fernando, Dr. Ajay, Dr. Samarth, and of course our staff team, Juliana, for helping us to have this amazing session today. So with that said, I'm going to allow the audience today to take a few questions directly. Maybe we can take 1 or 2 questions since we are already running over the schedule. And if there are more questions, definitely write to us, or you can join us in the upcoming off the chair session this weekend, where you can directly interface with me and ask other additional questions. But a quick closing note from me is partnership has been like a very, very important strategic vision for SIGHT as a program. So next year, as the incoming HAC chair, I looking forward to strengthen this existing partnership and scale the opportunity that's going to be available for IEEE members at grassroots level. So, so with that said, SIGHT volunteers across the globe, we really thank you for the amazing, engagement you're having, doing for the program. Continue participating in all the panels and great sessions, and looking forward to talk to you all over this weekend during the After Chair session. As again, the goal is to serve humanity, and we are here to serve you all as the program leads. So write to us, and once again, thank you everyone on the panel and the staff team for making this session very lively and interactive. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Everyone.
Thank you. Stay safe and healthy. And thank you, Juliana, for organizing.
You're very welcome.